Okay, so I just filmed this video and realized I should have been filming from right here. And I'm willing to redo the whole video because I'm just talking to myself, so it's fine by me. But I was really just talking about what it means to me to feel feminine, like be feminine. And I talked a lot about how I identified as non-binary for like a year because I felt so disconnected from my femininity. Just because I went to an all-black high school, and it was a type of high school where, like, yes, there were white people who went, but they grew up with us, not like in our neighborhoods in a way where they had a black accent and they were like doing their edges, but in a way where we were we were close, if that makes sense. It was weird. So when I say I didn't feel feminine, it's not because I was directly being told I wasn't feminine enough, or you know what I mean? Like, there were black beauty standards and there were white beauty standards that I feel like are factors as to what makes a high schooler feel more feminine. But like, I was pretty, like I didn't feel ugly, you know what I mean? It was literally like an internal thing I could not shake. And so I identified as non-binary for like a year when COVID happened, which was like 4 years ago at this point. And I did feel more connected with that because I was already a bit weird. Like, I had cut my hair the summer before sophomore year, and I was thrifting a lot because I like thrifting, but like thrifting wasn't that popular. Thrifting wasn't that popular to say you did yet. And so, I mean, I got told I was weird all the time, whether it was jokingly or seriously. And that just made me feel less feminine because that wasn't like, I didn't want to be weird. I didn't know what being weird meant, you know what I mean? Like, I'm 14. And so when I started identifying as non-binary, I got to like, it felt so good identifying with something that wasn't even in a binary, you know? Like, I can what's the word? I don't know the word, but like, I can be who I am without feeling like I have to fit inside of another box, you know what I mean? And the only reason I stopped identifying as non-binary, which I see this being talked about a lot now, that a lot of non-binary black femme presenting people, they still identify as black women. And that was my whole push and pull about identifying as non-binary, is that I still wanted to identify as a black woman, you know? And I really didn't know if that was like allowed. And so I started wrestling with that, like, especially because around COVID time, I had moved in with my god family, and my god sisters are so feminine, like naturally feminine. You want to be around them. I love just like their energy. And I was identifying as non-binary, and I was like, I want to still have connections with my black woman identity, but I'm non-binary. And so obviously I went back to identifying as a black woman. And now that's like being talked about, like what it means to be a non-binary black woman, which I feel like is so cool. But I don't have enough thoughts about it to like really get into it or like have a conversation about it. But that was my whole thing, was like, okay, but I still like my sisters, like, you know what I mean? And so that was my whole push and pull. And also I was like, at this point I was 16, and I was also in a relationship that was strictly long distance because he had moved away during COVID. And I think that was another factor too into my confusing ideology about femininity, because I've always had a romantic interest in my life. Like, even the times where I was 100% single, like I probably still like was entertaining someone or something. And so I feel like I never really had the chance to find my own definition for femininity throughout my like adolescence, because I was really, yes, I had this internal thing of like, oh, their energy, like I want to exude feminine energy like that. But it was also like I was messing with people who, and for a long time, from like 16 to 18, I'm 19 now, I went through this period where I wasn't even thinking about femininity because I was thinking about so many other bad things that were happening in my life. Like I was considering it, but I was like not sitting down with myself. But since I've always had someone in my life, I've always had someone who is supposed to be affirming me in my femininity as someone who was femme presenting. And then when I was non-binary, it was a little bit shaky. It was different. It was like, it was hard kind of grasping around the feelings. And I'm a soul believer, which also a lot of Black women talk about this. Like, Black men wonder, you know, why we're not feminine enough. Heavy quotations on that. It's literally a direct quote from Black men. And it's like, Black men don't let you feel feminine. I don't know about white men. I've been with a Hispanic man before, but I like, and that was so bad. That wasn't even a relationship. That was literally just so bad. But I've never been with another man really that wasn't a person of color, but it wasn't Black really. And yeah, 100%. Black men, again, I was so young, but I feel like also Black boys, Black men don't really realize that the way we feel about ourselves is going to be a result of how we're treated by our partner. And I feel like that goes for anyone. Like, if you are androgynous, if you're an androgynous presenting person and your partner is either making you fit into a feminine box or a masculine box, you're not gonna feel androgynous. You're not gonna have the reassurance that you need to feel good about yourself. And so, as a femme presenting person, which I had a conversation with my boyfriend like months ago about this, because I was at a point where I was doing so much of the mask roles, because our relationship very much is in a femme role, mask role. Like, that's just how our relationship dynamic is. And I was doing a lot of the heavy lifting. I was doing a lot of the mask roles while also trying to be feminine, but it just was not working. And he was kind of expecting more feminine traits, I'll say, out of me, but it was like, I can't, because I'm also doing the stuff you're supposed to be doing. And he didn't get it. Like, he really didn't understand. And we're at a place now where I feel very feminine within our relationship, and I do feel like he is affirming me properly, and it feels so good. But it just had me thinking, like, is my femininity really based off of how my partner's treating me? But I think that's how I feel like it's how it should be. Like, in a healthy relationship, your identity should be affirmed by your partner. But it's also like, would I feel feminine if I were single? And in my original, like the first video I filmed, I said yes, like I would, but like, would I? I don't know the answer to that question right now. I think so. I would like to think so. I would like to think so, just because there's so much that goes into relationships that if I were single, I would have like the full chance to focus on myself and make myself feel good. So I do think that, but relationships are so like, there's so much work that it completely makes sense that I need reassurance from my partner of how I identify. And I don't know, that's really all I had to say, I think. And I wanted to make this like self-care thing, but child, I gotta take this mask off. It's been too long. Femininity is a hard one. And I think these conversations should keep being had, especially as we're in a world where your femininity is like really, for some reason, defined by like what you wear and like your hair and your nails and your lashes. But like for me, it really is an internal thing. But even what makes me feel the most feminine is like being taken care of, not having to stress myself out for the sake of stressing myself out, you know what I mean? But like, is feeling taken care of a feminine trait, or am I just saying that because I am femme presenting? I would think that my boyfriend feels more masculine when I'm taking care of him, you know what I mean? Or maybe not, like I don't know his opinion on it. But why do we even call that femininity? Like, because if we take away the like physical aspects of being feminine, what is being feminine? Don't say class, don't say how you hold yourself, don't say your job or how you, I don't even know, what you eat, you know what I mean? Like, no, what is feeling feminine? What does it mean to feel feminine? And I feel like that definition is probably different for so many different people, to the point where, is that even what like, is that even the right word to use anymore? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. That's all I have. I had more. The original video was like 20 minutes, but that's because I gave a whole backstory, and I didn't really feel like giving a backstory this time. So, but I did want to get the video out. I'm filming in a 4K, I hope. Should I have been this close to y'all? Nah, y'all all in my... This 4K is like really getting in my business right now. Like, what the freak? Look all the hair on my face. Okay, now I'm gonna watch YouTube and text my boyfriend because he's been texting me. But I really love 4K though. Like, it's so clear.